Hello everyone, so this is part 4 of the MK4 Jetta lift. This works with Jetta, Golf, Beetle, Jetta Wagon. This is a sedan style. Yeah, this works with all the MK4 stuff. That's pretty much all the same suspension platform. So yeah, I lifted the front. In the other video I already told you guys that. And I did another video when I was lifting the back, but now the whole car is lifted fully. And by the way, I did this with all just two jack stands, and just regular tools, right? So it's not like you need specialty tools for this stuff, right? Yeah, so I already explained most of the stuff, but now it's all done, and I can just like basically when I was doing this, when I wanted to do this, it was very confusing to find information about this stuff. So many YouTube videos and nobody explains nothing about it. They just show you this stupid build and nobody explains it, right? So yeah, so basically for the front, I bought from Parts Source, I bought brand new front struts for the Volkswagen. That's Volkswagen front struts. And if you don't know, the strut is this piece here, the shock basically, right? That's the strut. That's regular Volkswagen. This stuff ain't hooked up because ABS stuff doesn't work, so who cares about that? And this is a Jeep spring. This spring sits in here perfectly. You don't need it heated up or welded or anything. Not welded, heated up and bend it or anything like that. And up there, it's all stock. That's all Volkswagen stuff. Took apart, people say you need to change your bearings. I didn't change it. I just took it apart on top of the cap. And took apart the bearings, cleaned with some brake cleaner, let it dry, and then wipe it off and whatever. And I just re-greased it with just wheel bearing grease. You can buy grease for like $5 for a little thing of it. So yeah, that's just another tip. You don't need to change those bearings, because if they're not really, this car has like 300,000 on it, or 350, whatever. So it's not like you need to change those bearings. Let me talk about the wheel alignment here. So this is yeah, this is lifted with the Jeep spring. The wheel alignment, people say you need alignment. I drove around quite a bit with this already, and as you can see, nothing wrong with the tires yet. I'll give you an update, but if you can see, no, it's not, no weird wear on here. Yeah, so that's something to see with that. It's not like the wheel is like this or anything. It's just looks normal to me, right? But I'll keep an update for that. If anything does happen, I'll let you guys know. That's for the front. So for the front, what I can confirm works, as I did it myself, was for the front, this Volkswagen strut from Parts Source. This is actually the thing right here, Monroe. Gas charge replacement strut. Made in Mexico. But lifetime warranty, they say so. But yeah, so this is what I bought for the front. I bought 2 front struts. By the way, when you do this lift on the Jettas and whatever, I recommend doing the front and then doing the back. It's just, that's how I did it. It's easy for me, right? That's how I did it. I wouldn't do this and that, like this side, this driver's side and that driver's side. That's kind of stupid. Just do the front and then, you know. And yeah, so basically for that spring, so that's a regular Volkswagen strut, nothing different about that. The spring, that is a front spring from a Jeep Wrangler, 2007 to 2018. Yeah, so I got that spring used, but it's in decent shape. I got it used off of Kijiji, and yeah, that was a decent shape. Yeah, so that's from a 2007 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler. I don't have no trim spec or anything, but I'm pretty sure they're all the same because I researched it a lot and I don't see no difference in it. But anyways, yeah, so that's the only thing you have to do with the front, which is just a little bit more challenging, was to putting a regular one in, was you have to really compress it, really down, right? So I use this here. It's like a 5/8 the threaded rod with this nut. this guy here, this one, not that. That's just like a washer sort of thing, right? Got an old GM wheel nut, drilled it for a washer. Then you just put the thing here, right around there, loop it through. So I can't do it with one hand, but you know, just compress it, tighten it right down, and yeah, I like this way the best because it won't slip. And for the back of the car, I'll just show you here. This is what I got for the back of the car. Monroe Gas Magnum Gas Charge Shock Absorber. It's yellow. That's exactly how it looks. I could have got an oil shock, but I got a gas one because it's a little bit lighter, I would think. So, and the front is gas too, right? So I don't want to change it. That's like the little how it looks, right? The top doesn't look like that actually. There's a bolt that comes out, not that. Just a little diagram. Yeah. But that's Monroe, and that's a Volkswagen one, and that's a Ford one. That'll be the Ford one when you buy it. So yeah, the back. This is the back of the car now. That is so over here. I already showed this on the other video. I'll just go over it quick. That's the Ford shock from the 1999 Ford F-150 4x4. You can say it's the V8 style, which is the 5.6 or 7, something like that. That's what that is. I got on right there, and that fitted perfect. Only thing I needed to do was right in between the shock. As you can see there's a little bit of painter's tape. I didn't paint the shock, it's yellow on its own, but put a little piece of painter's tape, and I put a washer on the inside of this bracket. So hold on, let's get my hand in here. So on the inside, one here and one there, not on the outside, on the inside, just to fill in the gap, right? And when you tighten this, make sure you tighten it good so it just squeezes it a bit, because if you don't tighten it good, you're gonna hear a rattling in the back and it'll drive you crazy, because the bolt is not like that big. Or you can drill it, get a bigger bolt. You don't need to. I'm just saying make sure you just tighten it good, right? I tightened it good. I drove it around for quite a bit now, and no noise, nothing. So that's the shock. Up here, when you buy this shock, at least the Monroe ones, I know, they come with a little bit of hardware. You use a washer, a full rubber, a washer on top, so you sandwich it in, and then you use a rubber, you cut a rubber in half, and then you just bolt it on. You may need another person just to help you squeeze it down, and then something to start the threads in there. That's what I did. And yeah, when I cracked it off, I cracked that one off. You crack that off first, then you get these two guys. I think those are 16mm bolts. Put a little bit of grease on the threads after when you put them back in, so next time if you ever need to take it apart, it's easier to take off. So yeah, that rear shock for the rear of the car, that is from a 1999 Ford F-150 4x4 V8 for the back of the Ford. So that back shock is for the back of the Ford. And the spring I'm using for the back here is a front spring from a Jeep Cherokee XJ. That's the trim style, so that's a 2-door. That's the years from that for this spring could be 1984 to 2001. That could be whatever it was. That can be the years I showed you. And this spring I'm using right here is from I bought it, same thing used. This spring I actually painted. Just give it a little quick shot of paint so it looks nice. This spring is from a 1997 Jeep XJ. I think that was, yeah, 97. Yeah, 97. I said that. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just try to get this camera over here better for you guys. So yeah, right down there, that fit good. I didn't need to heat it up or bend it. But up here, when you go up here, this little plate that sits onto the car, that just falls off, right? This spring, you need to heat it up. I use a propane torch, like a plumber's torch sort of thing, right? Propane regular torch, and you use nothing special. I heat it up. Doesn't need to get red hot. I just heat it up until it's pretty hot, and I squeeze it in the vise. I basically squeeze it like that, just a bit. I think it was 2 1/4. It had to be. And yeah, I squeeze it a bit. Then you have the plate so you can see how it sits on, right? And yeah, I just squeeze it a bit in the vise, and then you let it cool down. You don't spray water on it or anything like that, because I don't know if that's gonna mess up the metal or anything like that. So yeah, you just let it cool off on its own, and then yeah, and then that's it, and then that's good to go. You just squeeze it a bit. That's all. I think it was 2 3/4. The spring was open 2 3/4 from the inside to inside of the top, and then I had to squeeze down to 2 1/4 just to fit. I could have put it in like that. I just did it because there was no rush to do it, and just rather do it, make sure I did it right once than having to take it apart again. And like I said, I did this all outside in the cold with jacks and jack stands. Nothing, no hoist, no nothing special like that. I just simply jacked it up right on the back here, around that red part there. I just jacked the whole rear end up. Yeah, I jacked the rear end up, put some jack stands there with a little piece of plywood on top so it doesn't destroy the metal, because, you know, a little bit of rust here and there. And yeah, take the wheels off, crack those shock bolts off. The bottom ones first, take it right out, then the top ones. And the old ones will be easy to take off anyways. You just squeeze them right up, throw them out, or in the garbage. And then when the shocks are out, then the whole rear end will drop down. Just make sure when you guys drop your rear end down over there, make sure you have no cables or anything, right? My ABS doesn't work, so I don't care about them. I can just drop it and let it hang on the ABS, and who cares? But yeah, you guys might have ABS working, all that stuff, so you have to watch for that stuff, right? I didn't encounter any of those problems. Like, I didn't even need to drop it that much. But yeah, like I said, when you do the back, you don't want to do one side and then the other side. You want to jack up the whole thing. Even if you don't have jack stands, use some heavy duty pieces of wood, 2x4, to hold up the back. And yeah, you want to do it front, like back and front at the same time. You don't want to do it half and half. Like, that's the last thing you want to do. So yeah, I give you guys a measurement in the first video. I don't remember that measurement. I think it was like 26 or something weird like that. Mind you, I have a little bit of stuff under my back right now, like nothing heavy, just a little bit of tools, like power drill, stuff like that. So let me see now. That's right around there, centered. So I don't remember the measurement before, but this is the back of the car. And right now the tire size, that matters too, because if I put bigger tires, then it'll jack it up more, right? So the tire size, that's a snow tire, is 195 65 15, stock steel rims, 15-inch. And the height in the back, as you can see, I'm pretty centered right there. The height of the back is 29 around the dot. And I'll give you guys a measurement over here too, for the rockers and stuff like that. It's a little bit muddy down here, so right around there, the rocker, as you can get an idea, it's like, I would say that's what, 10? 9.5, 10 rocker. You have quite a bit of room though. I can clear a curb with this. I can go like literally right over a curb with this car now, and it won't scrape or anything. If that was before, I would have scraped the hell out of it. You just see back here. Yeah, lots of room back here. Same thing. 11, quite a bit. Trailer hitch over there. Yeah, quite a bit of room. It looks pretty cool too when you look at it from there. Love the yellow shocks, they look nice. Looks like an off-road car. Let me see over here now. If this tire is low or not, I have to check that actually. Might be a little bit low, the tire. Maybe I got a nail or something. Oh yeah, this tire in the front is a 205 65 15. Same thing, snow tire, 15-inch rim. The Volkswagen rims. Let me see here. And in the front we have 28. Yeah, 28 right there. So yeah, we have 28 inches in the front, and double check that. 29 in the back. Yeah, people always say the back is always higher. I don't know why. I guess it's just how that works. Yeah, this ground is not level here either. 28 and like 3/4 over here. but this ground is like shot. Let me see over here. Yeah, 28, a little bit off. Yeah, the ground is pretty messed up here too. It's like all potholes and bench stuff. So yeah, that's basically how it looks. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys the front actually. I should have showed you guys that too. So the front of the car, as you can see, I did a, let me show you guys that too. I did, just for to help on the highway so the air flows nicely, I did a cover here. That's like that house duct stuff, right? Yeah, you just cut it up. Doesn't need to be perfect, but as long as it holds up. Over here I use some very short screws. You don't want to go too long because the radiator is right here. I use like that short, like not even half an inch, or no, under half an inch. And in the back I use some heavy duty self tappers to go right into the subframe. So let me see. The front bumper. 10, yeah. Maybe around, I would say a good 10. Where is that? Oh, you're here. Silly cat. Yeah, we have a good 10 inches here. Yeah, at least a 10. And like I said too, I can clear curbs with this, no problem now too. But yeah, so that's how the car looks now. Looks really cool now. Yep. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be sure to help you guys out. I'm always on. Yep. So that's all for today.